Give up yourself unto the moment. This moment.
They used to say you'd get a cup of tea here at the end and not much else. Well, things have changed. It's a nice warm welcome for Paul Jewell, but Rafa Benitez will be hoping that's the end of the hospitality. It's Liverpool against Wigan, live from Anfield. We are interactive. Sky Digital viewers, push the red button on the remote control, follow the instructions. That's where you'll find that menu page. We're ready for off. Commentators, Andy Gray and Alan Parry.
Well, it's a grey and rainy day on Merseyside, but nothing grey about the atmosphere here. Uriah Rennie, the man in charge. Liverpool have won their last 5 league games in a row without conceding a single goal. It's their longest run of clean sheets for 18 years. And the only time these clubs have ever met before was in the League Cup 16 years ago. Wigan were in the old 3rd division then, and Liverpool beat them 8-2 on aggregate. Kamara's layoff, a little loose, picked up by Luis Garcia for Liverpool. Kavanagh winning it back for Wigan Athletic. Now Kamara, Buller. The early ball intended for Roberts. Finnan across on the cover from right back. Gerrard finds Kewell with a clever flick. Kewell starting in the Premier League for only the 2nd time this season, by the way. Finnan. Gerrard. Here's Xabi Alonso. 2 beautiful passes to create the Liverpool goals at Sunderland on Wednesday night.
Well, I think that'll be key today. I think it's so important for Wigan to stop this boy getting his head up, picking a pass out.
An emotional return to Anfield for Paul Jewell, a lifelong Red. He used to stand and watch the likes of Ray Clemence, Kevin Keegan and Steve Highway from the famous Cop back in the 1970s. Roberts being pursued by Sami Hyypiä, hoping to win a corner off the Liverpool man, but
Yeah, he's done that.
That was his intention, and that was his achievement.
No, that's just pace, and that's what will trouble Liverpool if they get a chance. Roberts and Kamara.
Isaiah has come forward, so too Chimbonda, who scored a couple of goals in recent weeks for Wigan. Clearance picked up by Kavanagh. Now on show, of course, a former Liverpool player who left here in rather contentious circumstances, still unhappy about Rafa Benitez not giving him the chance. Buller. Chimbonda. Born up with the interception. He was born and bred not very far from Wigan and has got plenty of friends in the town. Big day for him. Kamara. Chimbonda on the overlap. Roberts in the centre. Hyypiä blocked the cross. Well, player Cam will be keeping a close eye on Peter Crouch for the first 11 minutes, certainly, because if he doesn't score in that time, it will mean that Crouch has done a full 24 hours of football since his last goal for club or country. Bullard winning another early corner here for Wigan.
This is good. We're delighted. Paul Jewell, I know we're only 3 minutes into the game, but 2 corners in the opening 3 minutes.
Kamara took a wild swing at that. Xabi Alonso carefully to Gerrard. What a ball, Luis Garcia. Tried to play it early to Crouch.
No, it wasn't a good ball, had 4v3. Didn't make the most of it.
Xabi Alonso winning it back off Francis. The layoff by Morientes is a little untidy. Carragher's clearance straight to his forward teammate Oncho. Those two certainly played together plenty of times in the centre of Liverpool's defence. Luis Garcia. Alonso. It's a good ball. Plenty of movement between Garcia and Kewell, who has now appeared on the right. Finnan. McCulloch wins it back. Now Roberts up against Carragher.
Oh, change of play was on. Jimmy Bullard down below us here. Acres of space. Roberts got his head up.
Now the space opens up for Luis Garcia, and plenty in the middle awaiting the cross. Over Morientes' head, in behind him was Kewell.
What a save.
Terrific stop by Pollitt. to prevent Liverpool scoring the first goal here.
Yeah, they look like a team that have won 5 in a row. Liverpool are up and at it. There's a sharpness to the game. There's a zip to the passing and the movement. If you're Wigan, will you make sure that you see out the first 15 to 20 minutes?
Gerrard looking to feed it into Morientes, who didn't give Deseo an easy ride, but that is a goal kick.
Well, that's a good save. Caracal doesn't quite get it perfect. He rather hits it into the ground. But look at how they've stretched Wigan just in that one pass when they lost the ball. Good options in the middle. Well, that's a good save, I tell you. Had to go quickly to his right, but he just stabbed it into the ground a little. And it didn't really have the pace he would have liked.
Very experienced keeper, who they signed from Rotherham in the summer as cover for Phelan. He's got a knee problem at the moment. Wigan have got a free kick. They've also got 25 points, and you could argue that another 3 or 4 wins from their remaining 25 games, and they'd be able to look forward to another season of Premiership football. Really is an incredible story. McCulloch's header, away by Sami Hyypiä to Alonso.
That's a ball I look for a lot, and especially when McCulloch's up against not the biggest fullbacks, and Steve Finnan isn't the biggest.
Crouch. Baines stuck to his job well. Liverpool-born player, Leighton Baines.
Yeah, they're quick enough right and left back, Wigan. It's in that centre where Onsho and Deseu are strong, they're powerful centre-backs, but nowhere near the quickest.
Cross aimed at Crouch.
Well, a little surprise there. Steven Gerrard hasn't decided to have a little gamble on that. He must have known the ball was going. He would be the one that they'd be looking for. And there was a lovely little gap there for Crouch to nod it into.
Good header by McCulloch. Camera.
Now that's what he does. And he does that best when he doesn't think. When he just acts instinctively. Henri Camara, it's a control, and you don't think he's got any room for a shot, but he squeezes it through.
Scored 3 goals this season, Henri Camara. They've all come at the JJB Stadium. Liverpool with the best recent form of any team in the Premiership. 18 out of the last 21 points available they've taken. And for the first time this season, they're in the top 6. 4th, in fact, at the start of play. And if they win, they'll go 2nd ahead of Manchester United and Arsenal. For the moment, anyway, both those teams in action later today. A Liverpool victory would put them 9 points behind the leaders, Chelsea. Tried to knock it back down the line to Finnan, got it all wrong for once.
Yeah, it took a little bit too long. Jamie Carragher there allowed Camera to close him down. Made the pass a difficult one.
Wigan's marvellous run of 6 successive victories in the Premiership came to an end, of course, when they lost 3-2 at home against Arsenal, then beaten 2-1 at home again by Tottenham, but they've still won 8 of their last 11 league games. Kavanagh has it back for Wigan. Chimbonda. Deseo opts for the long ball to no one in particular. Crouch the target again for the throw. Onsho guiding it back. Hyypiä wins the aerial battle with Roberts, but it's gone straight to Bullard. Chimbonda.
I don't think that's a bad ball for Wigan, you know. The full-backs have got it. If they can just drop it in behind either Warnock or Finnan, they're going to have 2 willing runners in the top 2, and just give Hyypiä and Carragher maybe a problem in dealing with it.
Wigan on the same points as Liverpool at the start of play. They have a slightly inferior goal difference, only by 1 goal though. And of course, if they win here, they'll go back into 2nd place. Chimbonda and Bullard. On it goes to Roberts. That's a good ball for Chimbonda. The cross just behind Camera.
Oh, it was lovely play. Stephen Warnock really did get caught at left back there.
Kuehl, good ball on from Morientes. Just delayed his pass too long. Francis, Camera. Sloppy ball this time in the middle of the field from Francis, gives Liverpool possession. Camera there to win it back against Crouch.
Oh, big long legs up back at him though, Peter Crouch.
Kuehl. Here's Bullard. Didn't look where he was playing it, straight to Alonso. Only as far as Gerrard. He knew what was in his mind straight away. Warnock, Gerrard. Oh, what a ball that is for Luis Garcia. Morientes in the centre. The cross not good enough to pick him out though. Whizzing straight back on the counter.
He's ended up the back of the net, Morientes. Might have been suggesting a little nudge, but the cross wasn't good enough from Garcia. The pass from Gerrard certainly was.
Camera, who's looked lively early on here for Wigan.
We spent a lot of pre-game talking about Xabi Alonso, but this guy's as capable as any on the pitch of picking out a pass like that. Might have been better just standing that up, Luis Garcia.
Well, with over 11 minutes gone, Crouch, as he knocks it forward here, has now passed the dreaded 24-hour mark since his last goal in senior football.
Well, there's a lot of us been there. Know what it feels like, but what his teammates have done for him in the last 5 games has bought him some time. I think if Peter Crouch had been playing in a Liverpool side that hadn't been winning, it might well have been getting a different reception or a different judgment from his manager. But the winning mentality has kept Peter, I think, and his good play has kept him in the side.
Bullard may regret keeping the ball on the pitch then. Onshow to the rescue. Hupia, it's deflected to Francis and onto Camera, just too far ahead of him though.
No, that was a chance. I just wondered if Francis would just put his foot on the ball and actually take it on his own, because he's gone beyond Steven Gerrard and the gap was there to forge into. He didn't fancy it somehow.
As you've heard, this is the first of 3 successive away games for Wigan. Next up, Chelsea, followed by Manchester United. But just 3 years ago, they were playing at venues like Mansfield, Cheltenham and Stockport. Now it's Anfield, Stamford Bridge and Old Trafford. And they've got a free kick.
Yeah, that was good refereeing. He had a little look, Rennie, see if there was any advantage. And when there wasn't, he brought it back.
McCulloch out wide, Roberts and Camera down the centre.
Well, McCulloch's usually the target. And he is again.
Well, they say, Andy, that all the best teams are built on a sound defensive unit, and Rafa Benitez certainly seems to be getting that part of the equation right.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive record's been good, but it's not just the back four and the goalkeeper that defend for you. Defender starts at the front, and if it's good all the way through the team, then you normally have quite a good record.
6 wins in their last 7 league games, Liverpool, and they kept a clean sheet in each one of those victories. Not sure Carragher appreciated that ball from Warnock. Gerrard. Chimbonda wins it back. Kavanagh. McCulloch. Good play again by the skipper.
Yeah, Wigan's touch just hasn't been quite as assured as Liverpool's early on in the match. Ball's gotten away from 1 or 2 of the players. Pitch is slick, there's been a lot of water on it. And your touch has got to be good, your first one. And the ball's going to get away from you.
Warnock. Into Morientes, crouched behind him. The Spaniard got there first.
Well, that's what Wigan do. They go very, very deep. I think they're conscious of their lack of pace. And that ball's nearly on the halfway line. And look how deep Wigan are. They are right, well, they're even inside their own penalty area. Now, that to me is hugely deep. That's inviting Liverpool to play the ball into Crouch and Morientes' strengths. Because, trust me, Morientes is excellent in the air.
His Liverpool record so far, 7 goals in 33 games. Rather less, I think, than most people expected.
Yeah, he hasn't quite taken off. But his quality.
Kill. Here is Morientes, and that's another lovely ball for Luis Garcia. Corner.
Oh, he did well, Baines. I think Garcia would have liked someone without him taking a touch to be available. But I don't think he feels Crouch is, and he didn't play it just aimlessly across. But that ball in between Dezeu and Baines, it's looked profitable for Liverpool so far. 2 or 3 times they've got in there.
Good defending by Kavanagh.
It's a super header, defensive header, height and distance. That's what we try and tell people, we try and teach them. Certainly got that on that header.
Garcia. Morientes back to his fellow Spaniard. Crouch was screaming for the ball in the 6-yard box.
Well, this time I don't know why he hasn't delivered. Either a cross, a little pass or a shot, because both were on. Beautiful ball round the corner. Now he had to hit that or play it across goal. One or the other. Caught in 2 minds, I guess.
Morientes with a downward header, but it's gone exactly where Wigan would have wanted it. Easy clearance from McCullough. Back in again by Jamie Carragher. Crouch. Splendid ball to Morientes. Alonso. Kuehl. No, he couldn't make his mind up. Warnock showed no hesitation. Roberts. It's Alonso back, and that was a push by Camara.
That was good pressure from Liverpool.
And Henri Camara is the man we'll be following with our player cam for the next 15 minutes. As Morientes shows his skill on the ball, momentarily anyway for Liverpool. McCullough wins it back. Finnan. Morientes. Baines brushed him aside. The referee's allowed play to go on. Gerrard. There's no question that the Liverpool fans have stayed firmly behind Peter Crouch. They like what they've seen so far. They'd love him to get a goal, of course, and they really willed him to score that penalty recently against Portsmouth, but he didn't. Kuehl converting from the subsequent save. Here he is. Fouled by Chimbonda. It's Crouch's 19th appearance for Liverpool. Warnock was sloppy then with that free kick. Bullard. Foul by Hupia on Camara.
Well, it was better from Camara. Got control, quick feet, moved the ball.
We're going to have won each of their last 4 away games. They haven't even conceded a goal in the last 3. Onshaw's free kick. Again, McCullough the target. Finnan, a smaller man, got there first, though. Crouch. Plenty of options here. He chose to go for goal, and that deflected. It's in. Is that it? At long last, the wait is over, and we can all breathe a sigh of relief. 6 months after scoring his last goal for Southampton, Peter Crouch has finally scored his first for Liverpool.
Yeah, with a massive massive deflection and a huge helping hand from Mike Pollitt. The goalkeeper's awful here. But this is what they're frightened of, getting caught in behind, and they back off, and they back off, and they back off. And finally, that's bread and butter, just knock it over the bar. And he makes a complete pig's ear of it. Well, it'll probably go down to him. It's not quite the way it normally happens, but when you're on a run like this, it's amazing how sometimes the luckiest, flukiest goals get you off and running again.
A word of advice to the dubious goals committee: do not try to take that goal away from Peter Crouch. They might just, though, not only the deflection, but the goalkeeper's inadvertent punch. Interesting talking point.
No, I don't think so.
I hope not for his sake, Andy.
Well, for shots on target, as far as I'm concerned, then if it gets deflected a couple of times, then it's neither here nor there. But that's what they do, you see. At times you can get in trouble by staying high up the pitch. They might have been better facing Crouch up, stopping them turning. They didn't. They backed away and backed away.
There's Gerrard. Luis Garcia. Gerrard again. Oh, well played. Into Morientes, trying to backheel it back to Gerrard. Over elaborate there, really. Chimbonda. On to Bullard. Bullard again. Here's Chimbonda. Roberts in the middle, camera in behind him, and McCulloch far post.
Well, if McCulloch can get something on that was a chance. Super response from Wigan, that little move. They've worked the ball beautifully from back to front, and McCulloch's open in the back post, but it's just a little in front of him. Otherwise, Liverpool were in trouble.
Well, Liverpool haven't lost in the last 28 games in the Premiership when they've scored first. Wigan have got it all to do now. Bullard for them. Chimbonda. Kavanagh. Rupiah with the interception. And Onsho gets it all wrong. Remember, only Chelsea have a better defensive record than Liverpool, who conceded just 8 times in the Premiership this season. Midway through the first half, they have the lead, and at the moment, they have another clean sheet to protect. Gerrard. Warnock. Crouch. McCulloch knows that Luis Garcia is breathing down his neck, and it was that pressure that forced the throw.
I'm a little bit surprised they didn't just knocked out back to Mike Pollitt. Maybe he thought, I'll keep it away from him just for now until he settles. It was an awful error from the goalkeeper.
Carragher. Morientes missed it. I think he and Crouch went for the same ball then. Bullard. Did well. Onsho. Kavanagh. Leaves it to De Zeu. Good kick by Pollitt to find McCulloch. And Carragher knew he couldn't take any risks against the lively Kamara.
Well, that's a reason why they keep clean sheets. They don't take risks at the back. Rupiah and Carragher in particular, no-nonsense defenders. If it's got to be cleared into Rosehead, then so be it, it's there.
Kamara. Could have been dangerous, but Alonso in the right place to intercept, and now up to Crouch. Did well. Gerrard. Luis Garcia making a run down the right. Good football from Liverpool. The confidence flowing from them now. Kuehl. Garcia. Gerrard. Here's Alonso. That was intended for Morientes. Well, remember, they went down early against Arsenal a couple of weeks ago, didn't they, Wigan? And they had the talent and the character to come back in that game, even though they eventually lost.
They've got home. Oh, that helps as well. This is a much more difficult prospect for the side. He knows it. He would have known the next 5 games. It turned out just as they look like they're doing at the moment.
Finnan gets his cross in. 2 Wigan men. Gazeo and Kavanagh went for the same ball, but they've escaped without any further danger. It's just a throw. Carragher. Here's Gerrard. Sun's coming out now at Anfield. Kuehl. Foul on him as he flicked the ball away. Very dangerous free kick for Liverpool.
Well, Alonso and Gerrard have just had a little nod, a little chat with each other. It's a free kick. There's not an argument about that. And they've had a little word. Well, Alonso's over it. Steven Gerrard's well back here.
Little discussion involving Alonso and Warnock. Gerrard lying in wait behind those two. And the referee making it clear that he will decide when the free kick is taken.
And I always think these should be struck and not knocked off. I don't seem to have anyone prepared to challenge. Bullard is looking like it.
Gerrard smacks it, and the goalkeeper lost it and recovered.
Well, that was better, got his body right behind that. There's a bit of zip in this. They don't really get anyone charging the ball with any great intent, Wigan.
Camera trying to get in behind Carragher here, who's given it away to the Wigan man, who fell too easily.
Yeah, he did.
Gazeo winning it back. Baines went in hard, and the free kick has gone Wigan's way.
Yeah, he just takes him right on the knee. Not the prettiest of tackles from Garcia.
It was a really poor delivery. He's got a problem here, Oncho, with a quick-witted Luis Garcia behind him, but he stayed calm. Towering clearance by Sami Hyypiä. Gazeo. Now McCulloch. Kavanagh. Again, Carragher made the right decision. And Finnan kept it in play. On by Morientes to Crouch. Foul on him.
And there's left play on.
And no advantage, ironically, coming Liverpool's way. They've got it back again, though, with Gerrard. Warnock. Kuehl. Oh, what a lovely ball round the corner. Oh, that's great football. Morientes. Chimbonda ends a superb move.
Yeah, nice and quick. It's been a feature of the play today. The sharpness of everything, passing and movement. Put it across wasn't better from Morientes. But every time they get a set play, it's an opportunity for Liverpool, who have plenty of players who are threatened in the air.
Gerrard smacked it into the danger area again, and Pollitt, well, that's twice now. He's let the ball slip, but recovered well.
Well, I just wonder if the referee could have judged this a pass back, because although he loses this, I think Oncho helps him out by just sticking his foot on the ball, keeping it there and saying, come and get it, goalkeeper.
Baines in long for Roberts, who got clear of his marker but did not stay onside. Well, I don't think anyone here at Anfield is getting carried away by recent results. It's 15 long years, of course, since Liverpool won the league title, but they can see real progress now coming under Rafa Benitez in his second season here. His first season, of course, being capped in quite magnificent fashion with victory in Istanbul.
Well, I always think Liverpool fans judge the team on the league. Alan, you know that as well as anyone. I think what they want to see is them actually contesting the league, which they haven't done.
They're actually in the midst of their best run in the Premier League for 3 years now. Here's Garcia. Alonso. Garcia was ahead of him, so was Kuehl.
That's when they get a little narrow. Yeah, I could have thrown a blanket over the four front men there. Kuehl, Garcia, Morientes and Crouch.
Foul on Chimbonda. On show. Tried to play it over the top for Bullard, who gave up, but Camara didn't. That's excellent play by Camara. Bullard's cross just shows you never give up.
Well, when they're as quick as these two are, Roberts and Camara, then nothing is a lost cause.
Out of that comes a corner. Out of that corner could come an equaliser. Dzeu's header.
Oh,
and it almost was an equaliser.
That hit the woodwork.
Just skimmed, I think, didn't it?
Looked like it moved off something. Super climb at the back post from Dzeu. And a really, really good header. Just hits the top of the woodwork. Here's a goal, and the only question you'll ask is the shot on target? When he strikes it. Ooh, I tell you. It might give the dubious goals committee something to play with. The goalkeeper certainly tries to palm it over and palms it in his own net. I have seen them given to the goalkeeper, so celebrations might be a tad premature.
Isn't it amazing? 24 hours and 8 minutes of football, and he still doesn't know if he scored his first Liverpool goal officially. Camara's cross wasn't the best clearance. Francis hits it back in. What a good block, though, by Jamie Carragher.
Well, they've gotten themselves together really well, Wigan, after that goal. Shock to the system. You wondered how they might react. They've reacted really well.
Chimbonda. Bullard trying to beat his own man then. Kuehl gets it away to Crouch, who's having his shirt pulled.
When they talk about the goalkeeper's mistake and that shot from Peter Crouch, but I think the first mistake was on showing Dzeu. I think if Crouch is bringing it down in the halfway line, then you stay engaged, you don't back off. He's not really a threat there. Keep on facing his own goal, even with control of the ball, and he's not going to go anywhere. He decided to back off, and that was costly.
Great ball as well for Gerrard, who'll hit this!
Great save.
To the rescue.
Well, he's made 2 or 3 very, very good saves, this goalkeeper, but he won't be remembered for that so far in the match. And that's what Gerrard, to me, does best, and that's when he's at his best, when he does things like that. Links up with the front man. He's got the power, he's got the ability, he's got the pace, and he almost had the accuracy.
Needs 1 goal to overtake Djibril Cissé as Liverpool's leading scorer this season, Stevie Gerrard. Well, we saw Dzeu limping away after his header skimmed the crossbar, and he's clearly got a problem there with his ankle.
Well, I don't know if he landed on it or whether it got landed on when he was coming down after the header, but it was just after that that he limped away out the penalty area. Not happy.
Well, this will be a major blow if Paul Jewell has to change his centre-back partnership. They've been together for most of the season. Let's remind you, on Prem Plus tonight, We're at Old Trafford. We start at 5 o'clock. Manchester United against Portsmouth.
I don't know if it's his knee, not his knee area. I didn't seem to be concentrating on that ankle. Seemed to be more with the left knee, that area there. He might just have jarred it on landing and tweaked his ligaments.
And on in his place comes Matt Jackson. The last time he faced Liverpool was in the Merseyside derby for Everton 10 years ago. And Everton won 2-1 here that day. He's taken over the captain's armband. I presume he'll keep it.
Well, he's carried it on. He might be handing it to someone else very shortly.
His first job is to defend the set piece, of course. Cheeky flick, wasn't it, by Gerrard? Well, Pollard has certainly had a first half of mixed fortunes. Made a bit of a mess of the goal, but has made 2 goal-saving interceptions since then. 10 minutes to half-time. Liverpool lead 1-0. They'll go second in the table if they take all 3 points here. Oncho. Wild clearance by Luis Garcia. Francis winning it back. Camara. And Gerrard calms things down. And he will be our player cam between now and half-time.
Looks like he's enjoyed today to me, Steven Gerrard. There's no doubt he prefers playing there.
There's Baines. Poor ball straight to Finnan, whose control let him down, but Liverpool still get the throw in. Finnan has played against Wigan before, one of the few Liverpool players who has in his days in the lower divisions with Notts County. And here he is again. Well, Huppier was under pressure from Roberts. Subdued period of the game. Liverpool have just one more Premiership game before Christmas at home to Middlesbrough. Then they go to Japan for the World Club Championships later this month. And when you think that their season began way back in July because they had to go through the Champions League qualifiers, it's certainly going to be a long campaign for their players, especially those who will be in their own country's various World Cup squads. Gerrard being principal amongst them, of course. Jackson's first clearance. Camara's interception, but it's gone straight to Gerrard. Alonso. Gallagher's given it away now. He's got to keep a careful eye on this, Sami Huppier, and he did. Suspicion of handball by Warnock. Lovely ball from Gerrard. Kuehl. Alonso. Finnan. Gerrard still on the run. And he's picked him out. On to Garcia. Morientes went for it. Kuehl! What a chance to double Liverpool's lead.
Two front men rather got in each other's way a little. Lovely play, and again, no surprise to see the captain in the middle of it all. Super link-up play, and well, they just get a little in each other's way. Morientes and Crouch here. Half a chance for Harry Kuehl, but not the easiest.
Alonso's header. Away by by Jackson, who was fouled. Incidentally, the news of Deseu is that's an old injury that he's aggravated again. Something he's played through since the season began. And his replacement finds Chimbonda with an excellent free kick.
I tell you what, wasn't a bad ball in from Chimbonda either on the volley. Dropping out the sky like that to him.
On show. Well, even he couldn't do anything about that. Chimbonda, who's become an instant hero, of course, with the Wigan fans. He's played in every Premiership game. Got that ahead of Kuehl. Chimbonda just came off the shins of Roberts. Little argument there between Messrs. Kuehl and Chimbonda.
Well, I think that Chimbonda was saying that Kuehl was stepping back onto his toes. The painful thing that can be. I think that's what's annoyed Chimbonda.
And when Mr. Rennie puts his finger to his lips in that manner, you're well advised to listen. Bullard just patting both of them on the head. Quite a character, Jimmy Bullard. The noisy one in Wigan's dressing room, I gather. His cross, camera, unlucky.
Oh, better control, better control. Don't think it's unlucky, I think it's just a bad touch. Jamie Carragher had missed that. And he controls that, he's surely having a shot at goal.
Crouch is onside here. Can he end the arguments? That's his. There's no getting away from it this time. London buses. You wait 24 hours and two come along at once.
No doubt this time Paul Jewell will be asking where his defence disappeared to. A ball from back to front. Crouch goes along the top. They try to play him offside. It's very, very close. I always hate to see players do that. Always show the guilty party here as he steps out and assumes the flag's going up. It didn't. And on the back of him thinking he scored the first one. We don't know yet. I think Paul Jewell will be absolutely gutted to see that kind of defending. But it's a very cool, composed finish from Crouch at the end.
From a famine to a feast. He's on a hat-trick. Maybe, yeah. Can't that committee sit now during half-time? Let's leave it to the lads in the studio, Our unofficial committee.
Just as they'd done really well, Wigan at 1-0. They've been playing okay. Not looking like conceding again. And right before half-time, again, I think all shows poor defending.
An unnecessary corner conceded, and Paul Jewell knows what an uphill job his team has got now. Warnock, nice touch back to Kuehl. There's Alonso. And Gerrard. Hoopier! That was close.
Yeah, it was a little unlucky. It was slightly behind him. And when it's slightly behind you, all you can do is really direct it. And that's what he tries to do, is just put his head on it. But you very, very rarely get enough on it when you have to do what he's done there, and that's go backwards to try and get the ball going the other way.
Still waiting for his first goal of the season, Sami Hyypiä. Chimbonda. And again, given away to Kuehl, handball though. Don't think it was quite there. Calm down is the obvious message. Jackson. Baines chipping it forward for Camara, and his control was poor this time.
Well, here's it's a free pass up there. It's really, really poor defending. Nearly missed it.
Please tell me that wasn't a touch by Chimbonda as well, as it was on its way into the net. Bullard, Warner, Alonso, good ball. Morientes. Oh, that's a great reverse ball for Gerrard. Two in the centre. Crouch is one of them. Luis Garcia, far post. No, he was looking for the corner, but he didn't get it.
He's been a little wasteful today, I think, Garcia, at certain times. He's had the ball in lovely positions. Again, look at that for a run from Gerrard. So forceful, so purposeful. Not his best ball in. But he's enjoyed today. You know, Wigan have got a bit to do. Much has been made of the fact that they haven't lost a game by more than one goal for such a long time. That's a record that might go today.
Just a minute of stoppage time. Chimbonda. Well, that's sloppy. Crouch won the header. Chimbonda with the challenge. And then away by Baines. Kavanagh. It's a nice layoff from Roberts. And the referee has given the free kick to Liverpool for a foul on Sami Hyypiä.
A little generous, I felt.
Crouch's header, finding Morientes. 19 games into his Liverpool career, Peter Crouch has scored at last. Some dispute perhaps about the first goal, none whatsoever about the second. I was going to say it'll be making him feel 10 foot tall, but he's almost there anyway, isn't he? A towering first half for Peter Crouch. Liverpool full value for their 2-goal lead. It took a couple of saves from Pollitt to deny them further goals. And Wigan have got a big job on here in the second half at Anfield. It's Liverpool 2, Wigan Athletic 0.
But is it 1 for Crouch, or is it 2? Jamie Redknapp and David Platt are with us. I can tell you the bookies had not paid out after the first. Thank goodness he got the second. They have now. Jamie's thoughts and David Platt's when we come back. Super Sunday tomorrow takes us to the Valley. Charlton against Manchester City, 3 o'clock start, Sky Sports 1. Monday night, Birmingham play West Ham, 7:30 start, Sky Sports 1. Jamie won't have it that David Platt would not have claimed that goal. News from Newcastle, by the way. We hear Alan Shearer might be claiming it. That's the latest.
That's about right, yeah. And a second.
Are you serious? Given the same set of circumstances that Peter Crouch had there, you would not have claimed the first goal?
I would not have claimed the first goal on that one, because to me it's taken such a
Dave, isn't it?
No matter how long this programme goes on, we're not going to agree on.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But you have a deflection to a deflected goal will never ever count, or it will count. So that's the argument we have to have.
Well, personally,
and the rules are deflected goals count.
He's going to leave here today arguing with his shadow. You know that, don't you?
Go on, Crouch, you get your hat trick.
Well, as we said at half-time, what is in no doubt is that Liverpool lead here by 2-0. They're heading for their 6th straight Premiership win. And they haven't conceded again. Only Chelsea have scored here. 4 times, mind, but only Chelsea have scored here this season in the league. Commentators, Andy Gray and Alan Parry.
Thanks, Richard. Well, Peter Crouch has never scored a hat-trick in his senior career, and to remove all doubters, he might have to get 2 goals here in the second half to make that particular achievement for the first time ever.
Do you get the impression Jamie Redknapp's had a bet on him?
I think he might.
I think there's only one portion of the goal to debate that the dubious goals committee will debate, and that's the goalkeeper. I think if his shot initially was on target and it gets a deflection, no matter how big, and goes into another part of the net, that's his goal. I think what you honestly have to ask is, the goalkeeper's gone up to a looping, dropping ball with no pace on it and deliberately tried to push it over the bar, and he's pushed it into his own net from a good couple of feet off the line. And I think that's the one questionable area that the dubious goals committee will have to take into serious consideration.
Fair to say that Pollock won't want to claim it anyway. And thank goodness there was no argument about Crouch's second. That particular weight has been removed from his shoulders. Liverpool have won their last 3 home games in a row without conceding a goal. As Richard mentioned, they've kept a clean sheet in 5 of their 6 league games here this season. And that's the measure of the task facing Wigan now in the second half. Liverpool also attacking the Kop end. No half-time changes. Gallagher wins the first header. Straight to Baines. Gets it back from McCulloch. Camera. McCulloch tries his luck.
Oh, go right, sir. Go right. Keep the ball going over right. Chimbonda's Akers. You watch this as it comes across. You watch the right back come from the halfway line. Go on then, just play him in. Play him in.
Well, Pepe Reina, I can't recall having had a save to make as yet. Which is not to say that Wigan haven't contributed to this game, and certainly De Gea hit the crossbar in the first half before he went off injured, remember? Pollitt's clearance. Strange one from Alonso, but Crouch keeps it in play. Now given away to Kavanagh. The early ball for Roberts to chase. And he did well. He did very well.
Oh, brilliant. But that's what I talked about right at the beginning of the game. They've got the power and they've got the pace to trouble Carragher and Hyypiä. And it's power and pace that gets him into the position he's in there. But Hyypiä didn't give it up.
The large corner. Oh, good punch away, but Kavanagh smacks it back in.
Oh, goalkeeper's beaten. He's the other side of the goal. This is a yard down, it's in, even less than that maybe. You watch where the goalkeeper is. He's away the other way. Oh, a little bit of fortune there for Liverpool. Lovely effort, super strike.
Well, he scored some terrific goals through his career, Graham Kavanagh. Not yet for Wigan.
I mean, I know Paul Jewell won't want his team to have a right drubbing. I know the game we've talked about are difficult games, but I know a goal defeat against Arsenal, a goal defeat against Tottenham, that's okay, that's not going to affect confidence too much. If they were to lose another 2 or 3 this half, it might. But I think what he can do with the points he's got on the board is say to his team, second half, let's be positive, let's go out, let's have a right go. And if we lose 3-0, fine. But let's have a go.
And that's really is what has got them a great start in the Premiership, isn't it? That kind of attitude. Liverpool's free kick. Liverpool's only defeats in their 13 league games so far. Chelsea here, Fulham away, both back in October. 5 wins in a row without as yet conceding a goal before today. Finnan. Crouch, Morientes behind him. So close to goal number 3.
Well, that's a brilliant header from Morientes. Again, though, they're almost getting in each other's way.
Kiel.
And that's a towering header. But whether it gives Crouch a shout or not, you know, Crouch almost puts him off, gets in his way. He was good enough and powerful enough to get there. Super effort.
That was a big shout, I think, for a handball there against Sancho from the fans on the Kop.
Well, the referee's not going to see that, because all he can see is Sancho's back. I'm pretty sure of that, from the edge of the 18-yard line. And of course he's facing the Kop. You see the referee, and all he can see is Sancho's back. And does it hit there? Well, not really. It's ambitious even for the Kop standards.
Gerrard. Kavanagh. Here's Kavanagh for Wigan, who started brightly in this second half. Kavanagh's cross, stamped clear by Warner. Well, that's a foul surely by Jackson on Crouch. Referee calling him over.
Well, he's calling Carragher over as well. I mean, all right, it's a free kick, but what's the big deal with Uriah Rennie? I mean, it's a nothing challenge. But Jamie Carragher's had a little word with him. I think he said something, obviously, on the way past. But sometimes as a centre-back, when you're facing somebody who's, what is it, 6'7" or something like that?
Yep.
6'4", 6'7"?
7.
You have to just stand behind them and let them get control of the ball and then deal with it.
Bullard. Francis. Oh, won back brilliantly by Xabi Alonso. Kuehl. Morientes with a layoff. Kuehl got it wrong this time. Chimbonda. Bullard coming infield. Hippier winning the battle. Great skill on the ball, Morientes. Harry Kuehl. And it goes towards Crouch. Jackson with the header away, not convincing. Morientes.
They're often the most difficult. The ones that take that amount of time to come down, you've got so long to think about it. And this goes spiralling up into the air there, and he's got so long to think about taking the volley. End up snatching at it. Well, we're going to have to open one of those stats, Wigan. And that's the amount of times they've hit the target if they're going to get back in the game.
Oncho finding Francis. Bullard. Camera's already off and running. Had to hesitate. He might have been offside. He's still going. Given away this time by Fernando Morientes. Here's Roberts for Wigan. Gave Baines a bit to do there and invited the sliding challenge by Garcia. Gerrard. Good ball on to Morientes. Foul. Oncho complaining.
Well, it certainly looks like he got kicks in the back of the leg here as he comes in. You can see he takes his standing leg. I don't know what Oncho's moaning about there. It's a free kick, it's as simple as that.
And no shortage of would-be takers.
Good idea that this might be 28 yards from goal.
And Xabi Alonso smacks it into the wall. Away by Kavanagh. Took ages to come down there for Jamie Carragher. Into Crouch. Chimbonda gets it away. Bullard. Hustled and hassled by Gerrard. Roberts making life difficult for Sami Hyypiä. Warnock. Into Crouch along the ground this time. Free kick, foul by Francis. Alonso. Lovely ball. Luis Garcia. Away by Chimbonda. Kuehl. Wasn't an easy ball to control. It ran his chin somewhere, but he did it beautifully.
Not quite what he had in mind, but he got away with it.
Finnan. In comes Crouch. Oncho away. And then Kavanagh. Wigan hanging on in there. But they're not prolific scorers, of course. Just 16 goals in their 13 Premiership matches before today. They come from 8 different players, by the way. That's a good sign for them.
Hey, listen, Liverpool only scored 15 up till today.
That's true. But their defensive record, of course, has been the bedrock of their season so far. Finnan. On by Alonso. Warner. Kuehl. It's a great ball if it gets to Gerrard. Francis made sure it didn't. Chimbonda. Decision's gone Liverpool's way, and Chimbonda and Kuehl have not been the best of friends today. With the header on, easily cleared by Bullard. Camara, that was an important interception by Carragher. Now Alonso. You could see what he was trying, but suddenly Wigan break with Bullard. Now getting men forward from midfield as well. One of them is Camara.
They're plenty forward there as well.
And so, taking the risk, kicking the ball away after the whistle had already gone.
Only just.
Liverpool, remember, have failed to finish in the Premiership's top 3 in any of the last 3 seasons. That's the trend that Rafa Benitez has to try and halt.
I think there's a gap between Liverpool and the champions. I think it's frustrated most Liverpool fans. It's just been too big.
5th last season, of course. But of course, that was also hidden, if you like, by the Champions League success and the Carling Cup they reached, as Morientes threatens danger here. Kuehl's cross, in goes Crouch, and the foul goes against him.
Yeah, he's just leaning there. We might argue that he's on the back. Seems pretty obvious from up here. Up he goes, all over the back there. That's a free kick. You're not getting away with that.
Now the Wigan fans giving their team support. What they need now is a goal and a bit of belief. Gerrard. Warner moves it on quickly to Kuehl.
I think the cheers from the Wigan fans were the fact that the referee had finally given a foul against Peter Crouch. I think there's a little suggestion that too many have been given for Liverpool against for Crouch.
Roberts. That'll be a corner if it goes off Carragher. He made sure it was only a throw-in. Suddenly darkening again over at Anfield. And those Wigan supporters getting louder and louder. Can their team respond here with Roberts' cross shot?
Well, that could have gone anywhere there, off the shin of Jamie Carragher rather than the foot. It just spins away from him. But fortunately for him, it's far enough beyond the near post, not for any real danger to be had. But they've done it again, Wigan. Again, they're losing, but they've kept themselves in it.
Reina just about got a fist to that. Kavanagh couldn't play it back in. And a break on here for Liverpool. Luis Garcia leads it. Gerrard steaming forward. That's a terrible ball.
Well, the captain won't be too pleased about that. But that's typified Garcia's game today. I think he's been the biggest culprit of giving the ball away and not making the most of it when he's had it. And he's had plenty of it.
Crouch nips in to win it back for Liverpool. Finnan. Now Francis. McCullum. Kavanagh takes over. This is Baines. What a good challenge by Alonso. We all know about his passing ability, but he can get his foot in as well. Bullard. The Crouch proves he's no slouch, if you pardon the pun, when it comes to a tackle. Carragher. Morientes got the flick on. Gerrard will keep chasing, but Chimbonda gets there first.
But this is really spirited from Wigan.
On by McCullough. Camara. Well played. Only Roberts on the far post. Others arriving now. Here is Roberts. And he tries to tee it up for Bullard.
This is the best spell of the match. They played really well since the half-time interval. They've asked a lot of questions, a lot more of Liverpool defensively. It's a lovely little effort. A little bit more in the corner. And Reina might well have struggled with that.
Sami Hyypiä. Here's Crouch. Kuhl. Chipped into the path of Luis Garcia. Crouch was ready to strike again there. And Luis Garcia almost profited from that indecision in the Wigan defence. The rain pouring heavily again here at Anfield. An hour gone. Liverpool 2, Wigan 0, but Wigan having their best spell of the game. Francis. Chimbonda. Here's Jackson. Kavanagh. Rather fortunate to get that back. Chimbonda. Bullard. Clean through everyone, and Carragher to the rescue, not for the first time for Liverpool. On show. Bullard. The early ball in.
Overhit that. Overhit it. It's a pity. But they're chasing the ball far too much for their own good, Liverpool, at the moment.
John Arnorisa's going to come on. Harry Kuhl going off. Just coming back, of course, after all his injury problems. And John Arnorisa takes his place, scored a superb winner against Manchester City last Saturday. His first goal since last season's Carling Cup final against Chelsea. Kavanagh. It's indicative of the way the second half gone that Reina has been the busier goalkeeper of the two so far. Well, that is disappointing, though, by Wigan's Mike Pollitt. Long by Carragher to Crouch. Now Bullard for Wigan. Chimbonda. Good ball for Francis. Goes on to Roberts. Warnock read the danger and got fouled by Francis.
Yeah, that's a generous one. Linesman gave the free kick. He was under pressure, Warnock. Although he intercepted it, turns back towards his own goal. Not an awful lot in that. But a goal now for Wigan would be interesting.
However, remember, only one visiting team has scored at Anfield in the Premiership this season. Away by Chimbonda to Kavanagh. Hooked on first time for Roberts to chase. Did the right thing, Sami Hyypiä. Paul Jewell obviously about to bring on David Connolly here. The man who's goal from the penalty spot won their place in the Carling Cup quarter-final. Their defeat of Newcastle in midweek. Roberts. And another throw for Wigan. Well, you wouldn't exactly say they've got Liverpool rattled yet, but they've certainly come back strongly in this second half. Kavanagh, Buller, Onshow, Jackson. Comfortable clearance by Sami Hyypiä. Foul on Morientes. And that'll be the signal for Wigan's change. Connolly was also a second-half substitute in the last league game against Tottenham.
Leaving the field is number 17, Damien Francis.
Damien Francis, the player he will replace.
Number 22, David Connolly.
Positive change by Paul Jewell. It has to be, of course. Looks like Camera, for the moment anyway, has dropped back into midfield. Connolly has gone up top with Roberts. Crouch wins the header again. Well, I think Chimbonda thought that was going to be a goal kick. He was wrong. It's a corner. In short to Luis Garcia. Gerrard. Interesting one for Morientes to battle for. Goal kick. Liverpool are going to make the change themselves as well now. Didi Hamann, who many thought would come into the starting 11 today as a direct replacement for the suspended Momo Sissoko, is going to get his chance in the 67th minute.
Will it be Alonso?
Don't know, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I thought it might be. He might have just a little problem, might just be feeling it a little bit.
Number 16, meanwhile,
Didi Hamann wasn't even in the squad for the midweek trip to Sunderland, although he did start the previous game against Manchester City. Cisse also on the bench today, likewise didn't travel to the northeast. There's Buller. College clearance away by Luis Garcia, and then Morientes just got his head to it. Well, Liverpool have been subdued really in this second half. Camera, and again Camera. Optimistic shout for a penalty from the Wigan fans behind that goal. Roberts. Baines with the cross, blocked by Hamann.
Yeah, it was a bit clumsy from Carragher, I have to be honest. And I didn't think it was a penalty.
Well, the visiting fans certainly aren't convinced. Here's Kavanagh. Baines with the ball in. Chimbonda. Camera. McCulloch on the far post. Reina. Good safe hands by him. Now Luis Garcia for Liverpool. Don't think Reece has had a touch of the ball yet since coming on.
But that's what Liverpool don't need, is Luis Garcia to have the ball in acres of space and try a 60-yard cross-field pass and give the ball away back to Wigan.
Connolly. And Camera got in behind Risa. Chimbonda back in again. Away by Hyypiä. Morientes. On it goes to Crouch, who's got Gerrard in support one side, Luis Garcia the other. It's the captain he picks out. Just took too long, and Anfield wasn't going to give him that kind of time, but Gerrard typically wins it back, and indeed wins the corner.
Well, I thought he was just going to open his body a la Thierry Henry and just slide it right-footed. But he's so desperate to get it back on his right foot, Steven Gerrard. It's there just to open his body up now and play it across the goalkeeper. I'm a bit surprised he didn't opt for that option.
Morientes. Oh, it was deflected in by Luis Garcia. Liverpool 3, Wigan Athletic 0. 3 points on the way, surely, to Anfield. They'll be second on the final whistle.
Well, it's just where it hit. Looked really high up, shoulder, arm area, but again, this is poor marking. You can't give Morientes that amount of time and space when he just turns his right. Well, shoulder, is it?
Scored of Liverpool, Luis Garcia.
Well, certainly close. Not too many complaints from Wigan. Yeah, it's okay. Just turned his chest at it.
Two goals in 2 games for him now. He scored at Sunderland in midweek. That's his 6th of the season. And he, of course, was Liverpool's joint top scorer last season with 13 goals.
Amazing football, isn't it? This has been a pretty uncomfortable 25 minutes for Liverpool. Wigan have done really well. But then one movement, one piece of slack marking from a set play when you shouldn't be, and has put the game firmly to bed.
Perfect opportunity for Cisse to come on and try and inflict further damage now on Wigan.
Where will he come on, I wonder? Will he come on like for like as for one of the top men, or will he come on that right-hand side where he hates so much?
Haman. Hupia. It's a good ball for Risa. Just try to slide it into Gerrard. Anfield. Now Kavanagh. It's a good ball on. McCulloch's touch was fine for Roberts. Oh, he had Connolly already running into the space. Now Kavanagh. Well, I don't want to depress Wigan fans any further, but Liverpool have never lost a game, and Luis Garcia has scored for them.
I don't seriously suggest that Wigan have got 3 goals on them.
I don't think so. Liverpool might have a 4th, though, with Gerrard. Free kick on the edge of the box, I would think. Liverpool fans calling for a red card, which would be harsh, I think, on Chimbonda.
I think it's yellow. I think the way the other players have walked away. Just quick feet here. That's all it does, Chimbonda. And I think Wigan have got to accept that with pushing so many men forward, that they're going to get caught in the break like this. And he looks like he's coming inside and does the opposite. I think the fact that Jackson's round here is sufficient that there was another defender. Well, with Garcia off, you just feel sure that he'll take this on. Well, he's definitely not getting a hat-trick. That's nothing to do with his first goal. There'd been much debate about the goal. If I was on that committee, Al, and I had a vote as to where the first goal went, I would mark it firmly down for Peter Crouch. And as he goes off now, I would have him down for 2. But that's not my decision.
Well, at least Crouch goes back to the bench knowing he has scored his first ever Liverpool goal. Maybe 2. Cisse on in his place. Liverpool with a really dangerously placed free kick here. Risa and Gerrard over the ball. It's the captain who strikes it!
What a save, son. What a save. Well, what an up-and-down game this goalkeeper's had. That is a save of top quality. Thunderous power from Gerrard.
Brilliant goalkeeping has denied Liverpool a 4th, for the moment anyway. Hupia with a downward header. Cisse almost with his first touch Could have had a shot on target. It's a corner.
When you talk about the upturn in Liverpool's form and their play, I think a lot's to do with turning it to two up top. Right at the beginning this season, Benitez was convinced the system he used in Spain would be the one he would use here. Don't think it ever worked well enough for Liverpool. The one up top, 5 in midfield. He's gone 4-4-2 for quite some time now, and what a difference I think it's made to Liverpool.
And the big question, I suppose, now is, can they keep another clean sheet? The game, with just over 15 minutes to go, is almost certainly won. And as you say, how ironic that Liverpool's third goal came along just when Wigan were threatening to get one back themselves. Here's Hamad, Cisse, Luis Garcia. Clearance by Sami Hyypiä. On show, straight against Cisse, who fouled him.
It wouldn't surprise me if Cisse got a goal. I mean, I think he frustrates so much if you're playing with him. But always looks like he's going to get a goal. And he will stretch in behind them from the top end of the pitch.
Now Bullard. Kavanagh. Just too far for Connolly. Well, it'll be no consolation, I'm sure, to Paul Jewell, but when you think of the relative history of these two clubs, Liverpool with a record number of league titles, a record number of European Cups for English football, all Wigan have ever won in their history is the Auto Windscreen Shield and the Freight Rover Trophy. He has made them into a Premiership outfit, and a very well-respected one at that.
Well, I have to say, since going 3-0 down, I've seen nothing but the same commitment that I saw at 0-0. The same drive, the same aggression, and I think that's the important thing. There's no heads gone down in this Wigan team, and that's what's going to keep them up now.
Connolly's offside. Always lively when he's on the field. You can watch him for the final 15 minutes through player cam. Liverpool on their way to a 6th successive win. I think that is not in doubt. Will it be a 6th win in a row without conceding a goal? Well, Paul Jewell used to watch Liverpool from the Kop, joined them as a 15-year-old, was a prolific scorer in their youth and reserve teams, never made it into the first team, of course, before moving on first as a player to Wigan. Liverpool still the first result he looks for every Saturday. You won't have to go far to look for it today. Well, they've got to try whatever they can come up with now, and the Australian international Joseph Skoko will replace Kavanagh.
Third substitution for Wigan Athletic, leaving the field number 11, Graham Kavanagh.
Skoko played the whole game in the Carling Cup against Newcastle in midweek.
Skoko.
Hidden. Got his cross in. And it's set up for Gerrard. I thought he was going to hit it first time. Free kick's gone against Liverpool. Well, obviously Arsenal and Manchester United are playing later today. Chelsea are still comfortably ahead of the whole pack. But if Liverpool can keep this kind of form going, it'll convince their fans they're in for a really promising second half of the season. They're already through, of course, to the next stage of the Champions League. They top their group with an unbeaten record, and they go to Chelsea on Tuesday night in a match that will decide who wins that group. Progress, that's all the Liverpool board were hoping for when they appointed Rafa Benitez, and that's most certainly what they've got. Finnan battling away with Baines. Tomorrow, our Super Sunday match is from the Valley. Charlton against Manchester City. That's on Sky Sports 1. We begin at 3. And on Monday, we're at St Andrews for Birmingham against West Ham. Again on Sky Sports 1 with a 7:30 start. Bullard. Furthest Jackson has found himself forward in the game. And Roberts wins the corner off Jamie Carragher. 10 minutes to go at Anfield. Very short journey from here down the East Lancs Road to Wigan. And those Wigan fans who've made that trip would love to see their team at least score a goal here at Anfield. Maybe they will. Kept in play by Chimbonda. Camera. On show. Warnock has had his usual steady game at left back. On show. Hooked in towards Roberts. Garcia has had one of those frustrating sort of days, and he's done the brilliant and the untidy all within the same minute sometimes. Jackson. Away by Finnan. Chimbonda gets it clear, but it's gone straight to Garcia, or should have done, but he failed to control that. McCulloch. The little Spaniard wins it back. Now Risa. Morientes.
I think that's just to do with the number of free kicks he's conceded, Stefan Anschel, rather than the severity of that one.
82 minutes before the first yellow card of the game.
No, Chimbonda got one, didn't he? Edge of the box.
Oh, you did. He did. Yep. So it's not a bad return.
No.
Mr. Rennie's calmed down a bit this season. Not shown too many. Cisse. Risa. On the right foot, not his strongest. Cisse had to beat Mr. Rennie then, and that takes some doing. He's a big man to get around. Warnock. Now Haman. Cisse's clear here. He's got two waiting for the cross. And Morientes at the second attempt still couldn't force it home.
Well, Mike Pollock will never forget this day at Anfield. Time and time again he's kept his side in it. Left back plays everyone on side here. And he should score, but that is a fantastic, not just one, but double save from the goalkeeper.
You almost hope that the dubious goals committee won't credit that first Crouch effort as an own goal. That would be the only blot on Pollard's Coppet book today, because he's been quite outstanding otherwise.
Well, you spoke too soon about the referee, didn't you?
Yeah, another yellow card on the way.
That's for nothing, really, to be honest. That's for nothing.
Chimbonda. Camera failing to control the ball. Plenty of time for Sami Hyypiä to pick out Morientes. Now Haman. Untidy. Skoko, good ball. Roberts layoff to Connolly. Cisse carelessly gives it away to Camara. Morientes chased him all the way. And still hasn't given up on it. It's a free kick against him, though. Well, they've nicked a yard or two with that. The referee not going to be fooled. And the crowd just telling Bullard exactly where it should be. Jackson, I didn't think he knew much about it. Morientes, here's Gerrard. Offside, Luis Garcia.
Well, I don't believe Luis. I will look at the goalkeeper save, but again, Luis Garcia, possession hopeless. But this is a double save. Does everything right, Cisse. Well, that's a brilliant save. But not only that, that's what goalkeepers work on, making the save and then getting back up again very, very quickly. Spend hours and hours and hours on that drill, and that's why.
He's one of those unsung pros, isn't he? Over 500 games in his career for 12 different clubs, mainly in the lower divisions, though he did actually start out at Manchester United without ever making the first team there. And he certainly, as you said, Andy, had a day not to forget. By McCulloch on Morientes. Benitez, in his own quiet, understated way, has got Liverpool moving along a very successful road at the moment.
Well, we talk about how difficult it is to put 6 Premiership wins back to back. It's just what they're about to do. So that's pretty impressive, and that without conceding a goal up to now.
Connolly's layout. Camara has beaten Risa. Skoko. Did well to restart Risa. Hooked clear by Steven Gerrard. Risa's there again. Now Haman. I think, as you said before, Andy, it wasn't so much that Liverpool didn't make a passable attempt at challenging for the Championship last season, but simply the huge distance they were behind the leading clubs that really upset Liverpool fans. And if they can reduce that gap, then again, that's a sign of progress.
Well, they should be able to. What was it, 30-odd points?
But they're a better team, aren't they, than last season, and they won the Champions League last season.
Yeah, they seem to be.
Cisse misjudged the bounce, but got the ball anyway. Away by Baines. Luis Garcia. Lovely return from Haman. Gerrard. Bullard. Good ball that for Camara. Roberts calling for it early. Has to stay onside. Straight against Sami Hyypiä. And it's come back to Connolly, who's offside.
Yeah, I think he probably is. Good little block here, edge of the box, but quite clearly offside. Not a doubt about that one.
Here's Jackson. Chimbonda. Wigan heading, of course, for their 3rd straight defeat. But I'm sure when the fixtures came out back in June, they must have looked at December with a little shiver of horror. And they knew that they had to get as many points as they could on the board before this run of matches, and that they did.
I mean, I think there's been a lot of good in the game that they can take from it. Often in defeat, you don't take an awful lot. But I've seen a hugely spirited performance. There's some good football in it at times. They've been good enough to push Liverpool back time and time again this second half. But the thing that they've done in their last few games, Arsenal, Spurs and today, is they haven't defended well enough. And you think of the first goal, not great defending. The second goal, not great defending. The third goal, poor marking at a corner. See, those are all things that you can put right, really. But they'll have to defend better against the better sides.
And the best are coming up next. Chelsea away, followed by Manchester United away. Luis Garcia onto Cisse. Gerrard. Risa getting forward to his left. And here he is. Corner off Chimbonda.
Well, another goal would be cruel on Wigan, I have to be honest. It looks like a drubbing already, and it's really been far from that. Goalkeeper's played great, he's made saves, but well, he's always going to have to.
Away by Onshow, who's had an unhappy return to Anfield. Roberts. Powerful run by Roberts right at the end here. Stopped by Warnock.
I think that Paul Jewell will realise it's not the games against Arsenal, Tottenham, Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool that are going to decide their fate, but games against the rest. And in that part of the season have done really, really well in that aspect. And as long as they continue to do well against the teams they need to do well against, then I think they've got enough, more than enough, to stay where they are. And that's in the Premiership.
And just in case he'd forgotten, that affectionate song from the Wigan fans, who needs Mourinho? We've got Paul Julio. And I'm sure Paul Jewell and his players will get a generous round of applause from the Liverpool fans here at the end of the game.
So we've got Paul Julio, Sam Allardyce. We're getting a few of these foreign managers in our league again.
Andy Grayo doesn't quite have the same ring, does it? Bullard has done well here and gets his shot in. Liverpool move into second place in the Premiership table. It's 6 wins in a row without a single goal conceded. But this game will be remembered as the day Peter Crouch finally ended his drought. Whether it's 1 goal or 2, we might have to wait a little longer to find out. But certainly it was a convincing performance by Rafa Benitez's team against a Wigan side who put up some spirited resistance in the second half, but were always, frankly, second best. Stevie Gerrard led from the front as ever. Luis Garcia adding Liverpool's 3rd goal in that second half. And that is now 7 wins out of 8 for Liverpool in the league. Onwards and upwards for them. It's finished here. Liverpool 3, Wigan Athletic 0.